Okay, so if you're a fan of the keto diet or you've tried to cut back on your sugar intake like most of us have, you've likely used sweeteners like stevia, Truvia, Splenda. There's a new study published in Nature Medicine that suggests an ingredient used in these sweeteners, erythritol, can lead to a higher risk of heart attacks and strokes. Doctors also found the ingredient can increase the chance of blood clots. But most startling is that erythritol is not required to be listed on nutrition labels. NewsNation's medical contributor, Dr. Dave Montgomery, good morning to you. So I think, okay, this is fascinating. A lot of us pay attention to what we eat and drink. Years ago, I decided all the drinks with the sugar, alcohol, erythritol were not good for me. I mean, I was drinking a ton of them. I didn't have a doctor talk to me. I just felt it inside, like, I don't think this is so good for me. So I guess I'm not surprised about this, but how dangerous is it? How much do you have to consume according to this new study?
Yeah, well, this is one of the things that my patients are saying. It makes it seem like the food industry, the FDA, are sort of underhanded, sliding things like erythritol into the foods that we eat frequently, to your point, without letting us know, right? Without letting us make an informed decision about it. So I think the FDA really does have to do a better job of changing the label, putting it in there when it's there. But the informed decision has to also be based on the fact. And the fact is that the study, although gave us an association, we talk about this all the time, Adrienne, did not say that erythritol causes heart attacks and strokes. What they showed was when they gave erythritol to healthy volunteers and they took the blood from those volunteers, they clotted faster. Then when they looked longer term and they said, well, what about people who are more likely to eat erythritol? Do they have a higher risk of heart attack down the road? And that's where the association came from. Really important to make that distinction.
Okay, but generally it's recognized as safe. The FDA has designated as such. On food packaging, they don't have to actually list it. So something like stevia in the raw, it doesn't list erythritol on the ingredient list. But how do we know if it's actually present? And shouldn't we be maybe alerted, especially with this new data?
That's exactly right. We should be alerted, and there is no other way for you to know that it's in there, right? And that's why we sort of want them to tell us that it's there. At the end of the day, there's still a lot of information around non-nutritive sweeteners being better for certain populations, right? So people who are challenged with diabetes, for example, it's still better than eating sucrose or table sugar. And I wish it were as easy as saying, hey, stop eating it altogether. But remember, we're hardwired for sugar. So really finding one of these sweeteners that works well and doesn't give us risk is really what the food industry is tasked with doing.
What are your thoughts, or what is your knowledge about monk fruit? Something like that doesn't have any other additives, as far as I know.
Well, so no, it's in there as well. So, one of the reasons why.
There you go.
No, I know. I'm spoiling it for everybody. But remember, we do have to balance, be fair about the association. It really doesn't cause it. We just think there's an association. With that being said, what they use the erythritol for is to bulk up the sweeteners so that it looks like sugar, right? So if we just took stevia in the raw, it doesn't look like sugar. So that's a consumer thing that they're going for. We just have got to have scientists and the FDA sort of get together and say, let's get the data, the real data that we can pass on to consumers and say, this is actually safe for you to take.
Yeah, that would be nice. Because everything else sounds like scary. And you're just thinking, well, then I can't have anything. What can I eat? Dr. Dave Montgomery, I guess we could eat an apple. That's what we can eat. We can eat an apple.
Yes.
A peach.
Keeps the doctor away.
An apple.
Plum. Yes, exactly. Keeps the doctor away. But we don't want to keep you away. Thank you, Dr. Dave. We appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
Good to be with you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.